If I had to break into instructional design in 2025 with no tech background, maybe I'm a teacher, here's exactly what I would do. No fluff, just a step-by-step game plan. Let's get into it. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Joselle Jade. If you're new here and if you're returning, thank you for coming back and watching my videos. I've been so excited and happy to create these videos over the past few weeks for all of you. If you haven't realized, I'm on a kick, getting videos out every Sunday. So comment, let me know what you'd like to see. I'm answering all the questions and I'm making videos for you all. I was literally you a few years ago. Just celebrated my 3 years in the industry about a few weeks ago, so I feel more confident now and I'm just ready to help you all out. So in this video, I'm gonna go over 5 steps. Let's call it my 5 steps to break into instructional design. So step 1. Understand what an instructional designer is today and what they do. I would say from when I started and what I also knew about instructional design, it has changed, it has evolved. I remember when people would ask me, what's an instructional designer? And my response would be, oh, you know those training videos that you have to take at work? The person who creates those, that's what I want to do. But it's so much more than that now. We get to be creative. We get to be consultants. There's just so much that we get to do, and I've loved the creative side it's been able to bring out of me. There's a lot of instructional design jobs in large tech companies, so you get to learn a lot of new technology as well. So I would say a lot of instructional design is about strategy, the tech tools that you can use, and we're the departments that retain talent, and talent is what brings these businesses money. So a lot of people don't see the value in learning and development or instructional design until they do. And a lot of times our role is to show, okay, we've cut back this course by 2 hours, which multiply that by 2,000 employees. This is how much money we are saving the company. So there's a lot of strategy that also goes into it. But the creative part is my favorite. Let's start by understanding the roles. I always talk about learning and development as a whole because I don't believe you should box yourself into strictly instructional design. There's so much more that goes into it. And from what I have found, a lot of companies, they don't know what they want until you're in the role. They may call an instructional designer, a learning and development specialist, a junior ID. There's just so many roles. So I would look at the big umbrella, learning and development, and there's different pockets or spokes underneath. So some of the titles you might see are e-learning developer, learning experience designer, instructional designer, user enablement specialist, even internal comms. I've worked on a few teams where our comms specialist is a designer, especially if you work on a team that's really built out and everyone has their specific role. Those are the best. But you might find like an L&D specialist role where they need you to wear many hats. If you're someone who likes the back end of things, you can be a learning management specialist. So where we house all of our trainings, you're the go-to person for that. Something that I have seen lately as well are they're hiring people to strictly do data. So from the LMS, you pull learning data from those, and I've seen those jobs pop up recently. So I'm sure a lot of you're transferring from different industries, but you have a lot of these skills. It's just about showing how they can transfer and building a portfolio, but we'll get to that. That brings me to step 2, learning the tools, but let's do it strategically. So I would say in 2025, you don't need to know it all. You do not need to know everything. And that could be my take, but in my experience, if you know a little bit, you learn the rest on the job. Because each company that I have worked for, Their style is different. The tools they use are different. Their LMS systems are different. And something that I say a lot in an interview, if I'm asked, oh, what LMS system are you used to? I'll tell them, and then I end it with, once you know one, you know them all. And honestly, they have the same buttons. You figure it out. I've worked for 3 different companies now. Don't quote me. I think so. But they have all used a different LMS system. So learn the tools, but do not stress yourself out about trying to know everything. I'd also say that in your interviews, it's all about moving with confidence, knowing the language. So it's not about the tools. However, if I were you, here are the tools that I would start with. Articulate Rise. Everyone uses Articulate Rise. There's a free trial that you can get for 30 days. Do not go buying Articulate right now. It's like $1,000 or more. It's too expensive, so don't go buying it. But start with the free trial. Canva, y'all hear me talk about Canva a lot. You can make decks on Canva. You can make job aids on Canva. You can make documents on Canva. You can make videos on Canva. And I believe there's something called Talent LMS. Don't quote me. I'll have to look it up. But I believe that's one of the only LMSs that you can get into for free. So check it out. But don't go buying anything. We're doing everything for free for the low for right now until you get into a company and you can start using their tools to build up your skills. Moving on to step 3. Start building a portfolio, even without a job. This is something that was said to me from the very beginning, and I honestly wished I would have taken it more seriously. But part of me felt like I didn't have the authority. I didn't know what I was doing. So how could I create a portfolio? Like, what was I gonna put in it? And it could be real simple. We do not have to make it as hard as I was making it anyway. It would literally be something as easy as a video showing how to make PB&J, deck showing how to make PB&J, a job aid showing the ingredients you need for PB&J. It literally could be anything. My advice is to just create and just start. As you're building more things, is there a bad training you've gone through that you want to redesign? Get that idea and put it into Canva, and you think about the learning experience you had and how you can make it better. I wanted to have the accountability of turning something in and having a professor, but you do not need anyone to validate you. You can do it on your own. Speaking of my master's program, an assignment we did, we had a group and we were looking at different nonprofits in the area, and we found one and we came up with a problem that they might have. And our job was to come up with a solution for that nonprofit. Mind you, we had never contacted them. This is just from us browsing on their website and things that we could find. So then I'm talking about creating personas, creating the problem, making a storyboard, a mind map, everything that went into that project, because we were just recreating the steps that an ID would, putting on that consultant hat until we came up with a final project. And the only person that was grading it was our professor. We were not turning it into the nonprofit, but it was a good skill to build. And also make sure that you know how to explain the processes and knowing things like ADDIE and backwards design. And the best way I can explain those, let's say your child, your spouse, a sibling, they had a problem and they came to you. I have XYZ problem. Or actually, I'm gonna use my son. Let's say my son came to me and he said, Mom, I wanna learn to tie my shoes. So I know the expected outcome is by the end of my training for him, he wants to be able to know how to tie his shoes. So my job as the instructional designer is how can I create a process for him that's in a digestible manner that teaches him how to tie his laces. That's our job as an ID. How can we make this thing that seems so big, so large, so heavy, something digestible? That brings me to step 4. Network without feeling cringe. You found me, get on LinkedIn, find others, send the connection. I don't care if you don't know them. Send the connection. If they have learning and development in their bio, their banner, header, whatever LinkedIn calls it, instructional designer, follow them. Because imagine now you've connected with all these people, even if you're too scared to speak, because to be fair, not everyone has a lot of free time to answer questions, etc. That's besides the point. But imagine now your feed is only people in the field. So as soon as you log into LinkedIn, now you're learning the language. You're seeing the people that they're connecting to. You're now seeing job postings. This is for you. I did that, but in my development phase, that's what I was doing. That's how I was learning the language. And I was going to school, but that was like my real world examples per se. And to be honest, your first opportunity might come from someone that you connect with. Try it. 5, I feel like this one is the most important. You literally do not have to wait for permission. You don't have to wait for someone to tell you, oh yes, this training is good, XYZ. Do your research, create a good learning experience, and you don't have to wait for permission. You can do it. It honestly took me 3 years to understand that. In that brief time where I stopped posting to YouTube, it was because I think I lost some of my confidence. I didn't know if I had a space in the field, I had a voice, when honestly it was my experience. And who is to take away from the experience that I'm having, the learnings that I'm taking along the way or getting along the way? I did not have to wait for permission to say, okay, you're a good instructional designer now, because we all start somewhere. This one's a big one, because if you're transitioning from another field or something, start calling yourself an instructional designer now. When I'm traveling, this was before, and it asks your occupation when you're doing like the immigration forms, I put instructional designer before I was even an instructional designer, because the more I did it, it will become reality. And look, it is now reality. So start acting like an ID, because you will eventually become an ID. And there's like a saying or quote or something, confidence backed by preparation is, I don't know how it ends, but be confident, be prepared, and it'll happen for you. If you're serious about breaking into instructional design this year, be sure that you are subscribed to my channel, sharing real stories, real strategies, all of my experience, everything that I wish I had when I started. I'm spilling all the beans. So comment below if you're trying to break in. Let me know what topics you want to see, what questions you have. And if you're too shy to ask any questions, also in the comments and the description below, you can grab my Break into Instructional Design Starter Kit. It's just a brief place to show, here are the steps that I can take. If you just want everything in one place, be sure to check it out. I really enjoy making these videos, and I can't wait to make more. And be sure to check out the playlist. I think the last video I did was how I got my first ID job. There's a whole playlist of lots of videos, so check them out. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.